Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrac and Kole. This podcast is a conversation between two business partners, Joanne Kandrac and Kelly Kole. Join us for a lively conversation about all things interior design, from current projects, trade show experiences, worldwide travel, what's in, what's out, and all the challenges and wins they've had running their successful design business. Whether you're a seasoned interior designer, new to the industry, or a creative enthusiast, you will walk away with insightful information, newfound inspiration, and a smile on your face after listening to these two. And here they are, Joanne and Kelly.
Hey everybody, welcome to Inside Design with Kandrac and Kole. This is episode 150, and we're talking about setting goals for 2023. We have been very fortunate, I have to say, to have had success in both our personal and business goals for 2022. And I think I have to say, we set goals, we work really hard, we're open to opportunities, and I think that's really the reason for the success.
Yeah.
And can't ignore the fact, though, that we've really had a lot of luck as well.
Yeah. Is there such thing as luck?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So every late December,
Yep.
we make it a point to sit down and write down, or we do a vision board. And so we look back at our business and personal goals for 2022, what worked, what didn't. And then I'm proud to say that the vision board that we set up for last year, we had 9 items listed. And out of those 9, 7 we accomplished.
That's huge. It doesn't always happen that way.
and
Sometimes it's like 4.
And 9 is kind of a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I've been watching, it's kind of funny. I've been watching different people talking about the goal, and it's almost like Monday. And okay, here we go.
Because they're not resolutions. Like,
Yeah,
let's not
they're
say
just-
that word. I don't like that word. To me, that kind of sets you up for failure,
It's
right?
just a way of having an intention. But I think
Yeah,
we
that's
try
good,
so
intention.
hard. And so Julianne Taylor was on Instagram yesterday, and she's talking about, listen, people, if you don't have your word for 2023, don't worry about it. Maybe you don't have a word this year. So there's a lot of pressure that gets put on you. But I like the little bit of pressure because it makes you come up with something. And so I don't know. I think it's just been a good thing for us.
Yeah. I look at it as just a fresh, clean time to just look at yourself and your business and just say, what do I want to accomplish this year?
Yeah.
And what's
why?
And why? Yeah.
And
And for me, and we'll get to our personal goals at the end, but like, this isn't about like losing weight and exercising more. This is about, what do I want for my life for this year? And it could be anything, and you'll see. We'll talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah. And I'm proud to say that one of our goals was to get some sponsors for 2023, and we are almost full.
We got 8 left.
So we have 8 left.
Actually, by the time this airs, we might be completely full.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
reach out to us if you want to sponsor.
And so one of our sponsors for today is the High Point Market Authority.
Yes. So we are so happy to have them. And you guys know we're big fans. We talk about High Point Market all the time. But if you're just now listening this year, High Point Market Authority is kind of the umbrella management team for the High Point Market, which expands over 13 city blocks, over 11.5 million square feet of showrooms covering every product category. High Point Market is the home of home furnishings and is the show that you can't miss, which we'll tell you over and over again. So every April and October, the future of home is imagined by our industry's leading thinkers and innovators, defined by lifestyle trendsetters and product designers, given form by artists, artisans, and manufacturers, and made a part of people's lives by interior designers and retailers like us. So if you're in the trade, make sure to register and start your plans to attend spring. Now, when you see it up on the screen, if you're watching us on YouTube, Russ is pulling it up. The registration isn't open quite yet, but it will be at the end of January. So April 22nd to the 26th is spring market this year. And make sure you visit High Point Market at highpointmarket.org.
And we will be insiders, tour
Yes,
guides
we
again
will.
So sign up for our group when the time comes. Just keep
because
your
it
eye
will
on that.
fill up quickly. I think we can
Yes.
only take 15 or 16 newbies.
Yeah, it's really fun. And
It
if
is
you've
so
never
fun.
been, you will love it and you'll learn a lot.
All right. So we're going to jump into a little school rock talk first.
Well, I think this is really good because it's one of those things, once again, that Luann Niger asks, why? So you have to be able to drill down to get to the meat of what you're trying to do. And so someone came up with SMART, SMART goals. And so we'll go through what each of them means. And I think it really helps to define what you're trying to do. So S is for specific. So a specific goal answers questions like this. What needs to be accomplished? What steps need to be taken to achieve it? And so our example for us was our 2022 to raise our Design for a Day program to $1,600. So that was very specific. What we were going to do, when we were going to do it, and how much it was going to be. So there you go. That's your S part about being specific.
Yes. And so M, oh wait, hold please. I always forget to set the timer for our show, which is 30 minutes. I get it already, and then I forget to hit the start button. So let me go back real quick.
What are we talking, 7 minutes?
Yeah, I'll put it at 23 minutes. Okay, so M is measurable. Have an objective, which is a deadline, a number, a percentage change, what have you. So for example, in 2022, we set a total gross income goal of 1.4 million by year end. So,
which was, and they say it's okay to make them a stretch.
It was a stretch because I think we got to 2021. We ended up at like 980 or something like that thousand. So we were just under. So it was a stretch, but we got to 1.2. So just a little bit over 1.2. So we're still very proud of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And but that's an example of a measurable goal. Don't just say,
we want to increase our income.
Yeah, exactly.
So A is for achievable. And that one is, it should make you feel challenged, but defined well enough that you can achieve it.
Yes.
So an example for our 2022 goal was to reach out for speaking engagements. And so
and that could have been more specific, but
but
still.
So,
it was something that took us out of our comfort zone. We were kind of like, okay, all right, how are we going to do this? And we ended up
doing
blowing that goal out of the water. Several. We spoke at Dallas Market for the Lighting Innovation Show. We spoke at Design Influencers Conference, which was huge for us. And we have another one. Did we speak at
Marietta Garden Club?
Marietta Garden Club. And then I think, were we on a panel at the Mart or at Sherwin-Williams?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Did we do that? Was 4. Did we? We may maybe even done more than that. So the power of yes was surely a driver in that conversation because
and put it out
people
there.
reach out and we say yes every time.
Yep.
So that was a good one. So what was that? That was achievable.
Yeah.
So R is relevant. So cut out necessary irrelevant work that could take away from what's important.
It's like one of those things where like you get kind of caught up in the wheel. And I remember a coach or somebody saying, you're going to sit down at your desk today and you're going to work on what's going to make you money. And so even if you set aside a part of your day to do that, you're accomplishing some goals there where like you get caught up in the this and that. So you just say, what can I do today that's going to be relevant to meet my goals?
And I think part of that is sitting down at the end of the year and really thinking about what exhausts you. You know what I mean? What is going on in my everyday life that I need to purge or amend
or what do we do
that is so tiring or is sucking the life out of me. And so for our 2022 goals, one thing that we said to ourselves was we have some projects. Most of our projects are very, very well defined. We are flat fee designers. So we kind of know the scope is very well defined. We know what we're doing when we walk in and we stick to that scope of work religiously. But when we do new construction and we do remodels, sometimes they can be runaway trains, especially if we really, really love the client and, contractor calls and says, could you run by and look at this? And it's not in the scope. And we're like, of course. So, and that happens with our commercial jobs as well. So we said to ourselves in 2022 that we would be very cognizant of that time, and we would time bill, because if you're making money doing all those little things, it feels a lot better. So we were a lot better about just being honest and saying, okay, no problem whatsoever. We will absolutely be there. It's not in the scope of work. We'll just charge you hourly, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 or whatever. And the clients are always fine.
And you don't feel so burned out.
Yeah, exactly.
And feel so. And on the flip side of that, I think look back at what made you happy. Like what did I do last year that made me feel really good that I did? And then do more of that.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It's important.
Okay. The next one is T, which is timely. This should have an end date.
Yes.
Like same kind of thing. Like I want to lose 20 pounds
by
this date. Create a time limit so things don't drag on. And actually deadlines kind of provide like a sense of urgency.
For sure.
So you need to have it timely. I think those are very smart.
Yes.
Because, if things are just kind of woo-woo, they probably don't happen.
Yeah. So we're recording this a little bit earlier than you're going to hear it. So we are just now kind of really hunkering down and defining our business goals for 2023, but we have put them down on paper, which is a good start. So let's dive into what we're doing for 2023.
Okay. We've talked about this. We just touched on it briefly, but I think we're really going to go for it in 2023 is we want to create a mentor program.
Yes.
For new designers and those that are interested in learning how a designer conducts, like in our case, how we conduct our business. We've been in business for 17 years. We've got a pretty well-oiled machine. And it's interesting because we don't really know how other people really work. We know some people bill hourly, but it's really great to see the ins and out of how your processes work, because I think that's what makes you successful. Kelly and I were business people before we were designers. So we kind of have that left brain, right brain. So like if someone wants to know how we set up our office or how we charge, that's always a big one. And after doing the High Point Market Insiders Tour, we realized that when we were walking with these groups of designers, they were so eager for information. How do you do this? How do I handle that? How do I do that? And it felt so good to like tell them. And you can tell they were like, oh my God, we've gotten letters back saying, this is so life-changing for me. I've already done these things in my business. So we feel like we have definitely something to offer and there's a need for it. And that's kind of how that came to be. So we're
tweaking it though. Like I feel like we need to say we're going to do
we have to do the smart thing.
We have to do the smart things to it. Like we've got to figure out when, a measurable, I feel like there's a lot of coaches out there right now and they all have their place and some are great and they're all good, but some are better than others. And I don't want to just jump into the pile without really being different and offering something really special.
I don't want to be that one that says, would you like to transform your business? Like I don't want to be that kind. I mean, I just want to be real and give them great information and not always be trying to sell myself.
Yeah.
Like we have what they need.
Yeah.
And we just want to do it in a more kind of low key kind of way.
Yeah. So you know how we talk about our Panera days where we exit our office and we go and we literally like sit down in a big booth and for the entire day with endless iced tea and just like bangs it up. We need a Panera day too.
And we put that on our goal list.
We did.
Once a month.
Once a month. So create a mentor program is number one goal for us. So watch and see if we achieve that. You guys are going to hold us accountable now that we're doing this. Okay. Secondly, attend mastermind groups. So we are all about nerding out on business, especially with other female entrepreneurs and female that own their own businesses. So we are always looking to educate ourselves. I mean, even in this day after 17 years, I mean, we're hungry for new tools and new strategies and new ways to look at things, new ways to make money, all that. So we are putting together a group of
5, 6
of
maybe?
designers from that we're probably gonna meet like right before High Point. We tried to do it in January, but it didn't work out. So but those kinds of things, those are really important to us. We spent a lot of time at big conferences and coaches, and we'll still do that kind of thing, but we're kind of hungry for a smaller, more intimate group.
Well, just the mastermind is what created the reason for this podcast.
Yes.
Which we never had any idea. And so
Mhm.
when you're with other people and other business people, they can look at you in a different way and say, you'd be great at this.
Yes.
We're so into our daily that
Yes.
we never would have thought of that.
And I think the key is getting together with a small group that knows us really well, and and we know them, so we can give
Yeah.
really helpful, authentic information, or
Yeah.
feedback to each other about.
And they can help us. We want to start this mentoring group. What do you think people would like to hear? What do you think people would want? And they're designers.
Or maybe they'll
just
say
like
it's a
us.
bad idea.
I mean, we've been
You
doing
never
this
know.
for a long time, and I still look up to mentors. I mean,
Absolutely.
I want to be following along and learning new
Mhm.
things. That's part of the whole deal.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next one, we've had this.
But we got to put it up to the universe.
Yes, we had it out there a couple. I don't think we had it last year, so let's see if we can do it this year. We want to design a beach house.
Yep.
Now, ideally, Rosemary Beach, Kiowa.
We won't be
somewhere in
picky,
Florida, maybe.
but I'm putting it out to the universe that those are our two favorite places,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and we just we don't travel much because we're so hands-on and we're so control freaks with our designs, but we're very comfortable in those parts of the country and in those cities. So
Yeah.
we're putting it out there. So
There
if
you
you
go.
have a new beach house that you need completely
Okay.
snazzy. Okay.
So our next one,
Yes.
drive podcast profit. So I'm not sure. A lot of people, don't really know how podcasts work and what they cost, and people can do them on their own with their iPhones, whatever. But we've said this before. We've always wanted to have a very professional podcast, but that costs money, which we are willing to invest because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it 100%. And so our costs associated for a year to do the
This podcast,
recording
yeah.
and the marketing and everything
Editing,
is
everything.
about $23,000 a year.
Yep.
And so right now we're getting close to covering our costs, which is great. But at some point it would be nice to have it be a little bit of a moneymaker.
Well, I want it to be a big money maker. What are you talking about? Did you read Christina, her daughter sent us an
I didn't have a
article.
chance
Did
to
you
read it. No.
Okay. It was all about basically monetizing podcasts, and it's $1 billion industry, obviously.
Well, I know when we went to the conference, they talked about that, print advertising in our world is not quite the same,
Mhm.
and paying for advertising on pages of magazines doesn't really get you. But they're saying that
Yeah.
advertising from podcasts
Yep.
is huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Huge. And so our goal is really to make this a profitable business. I mean, this takes a ton of time.
Mhm.
And I mean, we just came in like flying on 3 wheels from we were just at a new construction $10,000, no, not really, 10,000 square foot home where we were doing the electrical walk for the last 4 hours, and like flew in here to
Yeah.
sit down in front of the mic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
So we put out invitations because we want to invite our sponsors. We're very authentically connected to our sponsors, and we have 20. We have 26. We record every other week, so we have 26 episodes in a year, and we only have 8 left, as we said earlier. So, and they were gone in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I think what we're probably going to do is start doing like a mid-roll sponsor, where like halfway through the show we pick up another sponsor. So because there's a great interest out there on
Yeah.
being on the show.
Yeah.
So,
And I
but yeah.
authentically, I mean, I really enjoy partnering with High Point Market Authority. I really
Mhm.
believe in them.
Yep.
I think they have so much good that they do. And there's people out there, all over the country that have never been or don't know much about it. And so I'm happy to. And like we said, a couple of the people that were on our tour only decided to come because they heard about it from us, whatever. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's good.
That's huge.
That's
Yeah.
rewarding.
So drive podcast profit is a huge
Yep.
goal for us this year. We could probably make that more specific as well, which we will do on our Panera Day, and
Mhm.
we'll figure out exactly how much profit and how much over our 23K investment we are aiming to make in 2023, and then we'll reach to 2024 as well.
Yeah.
All right. So next, focus on fun and balance. So this is a conversation that we actually have all the time. If a project does not serve us mentally and physically, and that sounds kind of funny, but it's totally true.
Yeah.
Like, we need to turn it down. And
We've turned down a couple more this year than we ever have.
it's just
Only because the location was too far. There were a couple of red flags. That's the mental part.
it just wasn't big enough.
Yeah, because the smaller projects takes just as much work as the bigger ones, and so we're just kind of at the point where, like, at one point, I think we were going to schedule something. I was like, Kelly, no.
Yeah, she did. She
don't
shut it down.
I don't want to go into 2023 so overwhelmed
Yes.
that we did do a consultation where we did 4 in 1 week. And I was like, was that their kitchen? Was it the other kitchen? Like, I don't have enough brain space for that much. I know my limit.
And then you don't do your best work.
I want to service the people well.
Yes.
I don't want to be up in the middle of the night figuring something out that I made a mistake.
Yes.
So we can handle a lot, but there was so much coming at us, and we have to really decide what's going to be good for us.
Work smarter and hopefully work less.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a conversation. And part of that is also continuing to cross train Lisa and Lynn, who work in our office, so that nobody on our team is carrying too much of the load. I mean, we're really good at splitting up, and so we need to just make sure that everybody is feeling that way, because I'm too old to be completely fried. I fried out really early in my career, in my corporate world. And I was in my early 30s, and I will never do that again.
We keep a really good balance. And I think we're both on the same page in that way. We're not looking to kill ourselves, but we do work hard when we are. Okay. So we might have
with that said.
Yeah. So, the next one is the aim for total gross income of 1.5 by year end. And hopefully we can do that. And then I think we mentioned already, we're going to do a Panera Day once a month. And those Panera Days are so
productive.
So productive.
Yep. Okay. So one thing that we want to talk about briefly, and we always have this on our vision board every single year, is travel. Travel to us is a really big deal. And people say, sometimes they'll say like, oh, must be nice. But honestly, I mean, it's really important. And we have had on our bucket list, on our vision board for at least 3 years, maybe 4, because it was pre-COVID even. So at least 4 years that we wanted to go to Marrakesh in Morocco. It just,
so many designer friends have
we just
done
want
it.
to go.
We've always been like looking, going, we need to do that. We need to do that. But it just wasn't ever happening.
Yep.
But
we're going.
Happy to report we are going on March 1st.
Yep.
We are going to Marrakesh for 4 or 5 days, and then we're going to Lisbon, Portugal for the next 4 or 5 days.
So March 1st to 10th, do not reach out to us. Do not email us.
We've never done that.
We'll be on a camel crossing the desert. We're busy.
We've never been away for
that long.
But I think we deserve it.
We do.
And I think
Lisa and Lynn can handle the office.
Yep, we're going to gain so much inspiration. So I was reading something on reasons to travel, and I agree with every single one of these.
Yes.
It improves your health.
Yeah.
It lets you disconnect from your daily life. It makes you smarter. It improves your understanding of other cultures. It makes you more interesting.
True.
It allows you to try amazing food.
Yes.
And it lets you create lifetime memories.
Yes.
I mean, those are all. I mean, I remember. I mean, I know my kids have great memories from the trips that we've taken. I have great memories from the trips when I was younger. You remember them.
Yeah.
So put travel on. It doesn't have to be.
People say, "Oh, I don't have time for that. I can't." But
make the time.
Make the time. Make the time.
Yep.
So before we get to our quotes, a little show and tell. So we also do personal goals. So we always do this kind of at the end of our vacation break, and we used to do them. My sister Amanda started this whole thing. This is a gazillion years ago. I went to visit her, and we sat down. She and my other sister Kimberly, and we sat down with these big foam core black boards and a stack of magazines this high, and we would cut out pictures and really like brainstorm for the next year, and with our hot glue gun and our spray adhesive, and we'd make this big board, and then we'd put the board in a very visible spot in our, somewhere where you had to look at it all the time. And we did that for years and years. Well, now we kind of do them digitally. So here's a little example. If you're watching us on YouTube, I'm going to just hold one up. So what I do, or both of us do, let's see.
Go down a little bit. There you go.
Can you see that?
Turn other way. Yep, right
this
there.
way.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So it's just illustrates my goals in a way that motivates me and makes me feel good.
It's a visual that you
it's
could
just
look
a
at.
visual
Yep.
of my goals. I personally put it on my bulletin board so that
Yep.
when I look up, I see it all the time. So Joanne did hers.
Okay, so I did mine. Now, one of these that I want to show you, and I have to say, it was really prompted by the Thompson family, and it's where you see all the people gathering around that table.
Yep.
When my husband and I first got married, we didn't have kids for like 5 years, and we used to have dinner parties all the time. We used to entertain, and now my kids are gone. Our houses. I want to go back and do that. I mean, I love introducing other people, having like 3 couples over that don't even know each other.
Yes.
Just making some great food. So that's a really big one. The one thing is, and once again, because I read something about this, I am not snoozing anymore.
Really?
What happens is when I snooze
at least once,
then I just snooze and I snooze and I snooze and I don't get up and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So this is what I've done the last couple of days. I'm not hitting the snooze. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm going right into my workout room. Because if I start looking, if I start just,
you're done.
If I just for a minute distract myself, I'm like, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So those are,
I have a couple. One, I want to start needlepointing. I love needlepoint. When I see needlepoint pillows, I want, and I'm up for anything that takes me away from my phone. Like I'm a big reader. I love to read. I got to get away from
that's a good
from
one.
my phone. Like
That's a good
I'm
one.
excited. Also over the holiday, I purged like you wouldn't believe, and I completely redid my linen closets. And then as right before the new year, we completely emptied out our pantry and our refrigerator and freezer, cleaned everything, like empty, and then put stuff back. And
She's very anal.
I totally am. And I love it. And I realized how much waste. I was disgusted. And I'm a very organized, like I'm not, I'm a purger, like, but I'm like, why I gotta stop. Like, so less waste, less carbon footprint. I mean, just gotta concentrate on everything that I purchase being a very, very mindful purchase. So
good for you.
Needlepoint.
Yep.
Gotta get my Spanish
my
back
little
up and
art
too.
thing that I have like kind of an artistic
what
thing
was
too.
that?
So I took a class. I'd never heard of it, but I saw this at a art place. If you look right here, it says Zentangle. Sorry, I can't tell, but and it's basically it's like using a pencil. It's sketching, and you do it in little sections and use all different kinds of designs. And I love black and white. And so a lot of times, in the class we made ones that were about that big, and then you frame them or whatever. But it's another thing. It's like, it's not sort of like coloring, but you can create the designs. You can follow the ones. It's just same thing. Get away from the phone. Just do something artistic and
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Do that.
I love that. So we hope that we are really incentivizing you to really just think about your personal life, think about your business. Don't talk about weight and exercise. Think about other things that are just outside your comfort zone, or that you have to reach for, that'll make you happy, that will make you a more successful person. And they really work. When you put it out to the universe, I'm a big believer in this. When you write it down, you put it out to the universe, and then you also make a visual so that you have to look at it all the time. Put it in a place where you revisit these
it's on our
all the
bulletin boards.
time. Then, and we also do, like, we write it down. So we do the visual, but then we write it down as well. You can't see the light is in the way, but so that I can, kind of reread it to myself, but think about it. Yeah. Yep. All right. So quotes.
Okay. The funny one.
Yeah.
I remember this from last year. How am I supposed to be back at work today? I don't even remember what I do. I became mush.
Complete mush.
Really,
my brain did not work.
Loved it because we don't ever do that for that long.
Yeah, we closed down from the 23rd, 22nd, 21st to the 3rd or 4th, and we're barely alive at this point. Okay, serious quote. Attract what you expect. Reflect what you desire. Become what you respect. Mirror what you admire. And that's from Deb Sofield. I think that's perfect for our goal vision board conversation. Yes, I love that. Attract what you expect is my favorite thing.
Okay. So it's something that we forgot to write down.
Okay.
I'm going to put it out to the universe.
Okay.
I'm going to put it out there to anybody who might be able to help us achieve this goal.
Oh, yes.
We have wanted, I think, from the beginning, in the 5 years that we've had a podcast.
Yes.
We would love to have Sarah Blakely as a guest on our podcast.
She's the CEO of Spanx. If you don't know her, you got to know her.
She's here in Atlanta. We'd love to follow her on Instagram. She's such a cool,
we have a girl crush on her.
Yeah, we definitely have a crush on her. She's so cool. Personally,
professionally with her kids,
the whole
way
deal.
she supports women in business.
Yeah, she's just a great,
She's a rock star.
it would be like the real stretch. So we're putting it out there.
Sarah,
if you're listening or watching, Sarah, you can be here.
We're fun. You can come sit in our office, or we can do it on Zoom, whatever floats your boat. Yeah.
Thank you, High Point Market Authority, for being one of our sponsors. We appreciate that so much. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly for a new episode every other Friday as they continue to explore the nuances of the interior design business with the goal of informing, inspiring, and entertaining their listeners. See their work at Kandrac-Kole.com and engage with them on Facebook and Instagram at Kandrac Kole.